Hi, welcome to the next part of the chain rule. So if you think my lesson is helpful for your learning, please give me a subscribe and a like. I appreciate your help very much. All right, so what is first and second derivative? So let's say we have a function y equals to, let's make it as easy as possible. Let's say x to the 10 and then plus x squared. So the first derivative is you take the derivative of that. So you have 10x to the 9 plus 2x to the first, right? And then the second derivative, you take derivative one more time. Then you have 90x to the 8th plus 2. You bring the 1 down, so this will be x to the 0. So overall, you have 90x to the 8th and then plus just a 2. So that's how you do the first and second derivative. So in this problem, I have a more complicated function for you. So we have y equals to cosine of sine of 3 theta. So let's find the first derivative. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. So we have negative sine of whatever that is. And then we multiply the derivative of whatever inside the parentheses. So which is sine of 3 theta. Then this is a sine of 3 theta. So the derivative of that is cosine 3 theta, right? Also, there is a 3 theta inside the sine parenthesis. So what is the derivative of 3 theta? The derivative of 3 theta is just a 3, right? Because this is a chain rule. So y prime, we fill up the front. Okay, so that is your y prime. Let's put everything back to its normal position. So we have a negative 3 times sine of sine 3 theta and then times cosine of 3 theta. So the next one, when you do a double prime, so there is a product rule, right? So what is product rule? Product rule is fg prime plus gf prime. And then also, since you have this, then there is a chain in it. Okay, let's do the fg prime. So f, we just copy f. So negative 3 sine of 3 theta. And then what is the derivative of cosine? The derivative of cosine is negative sine, right, of 3 theta. Did you forget something? Yes, you do. What you forgot a chain rule. What is the derivative of 3 theta? The derivative of 3 theta is 3. So that is your fg prime. And then your gf, we do the plus right here. So function g is cosine 3 theta and then f prime. So the 3, we can ignore the 3, right? The sine, what is the derivative of sine? The derivative of sine is cosine. Cosine of what? Do we take care of the inside right now? No, we don't. We just copy it. So that is a sine of 3 theta, and then I know that is a function, so we have to immediately take the derivative of the sine 3 theta. All right, so what is the derivative of sine 3 theta? So this one, the derivative of sine is cosine 3 theta. Due to the chain rule, we also have to multiply 3, right? So you can put the 3 up front. So overall, what do you have for the double prime? We have a negative or positive 9 and then sine of sine 3 theta times sine of 3 theta. So that is your fg prime and then plus your g. So the g, so since there is a minus, and then we have to put the big plus to a minus 9 and then cosine and then sine 3 theta, and then we have a cosine here. We have a cosine 3 theta times 3 times cosine 3 theta. Then we have a cosine square 3 theta. So that is the end of the problem. Let's box the answer. So where is my part 1? My part 1 is right here. It's not really a part 1, that is the first derivative. And then this is my second derivative. Oh, in case you are wondering, why do I say we ignore the 3? So let's use an easier function. So let's say we have g of x equals to 3 times sine theta. So when you take the derivative, let's put a square in here. So that is 3 times sine theta square, right? So this one, when you take the derivative, you can just bring the 2 down. and then times sine theta, and then the derivative of sine is cosine. So that is what do I mean by you ignore the 3. Just like this, let's say you have 3x to the 10. When you take the derivative, you can leave the 3 alone, right? So you bring the 10 down, and then x 10 minus 1 is equals to 9. So that's what do I mean by you ignore the 3, which is the coefficient in front of the sine, cosine, or the x. Alright, so in the next part, I will talk about the equation of a tangent line. I will see you there.